How do you deal with disrespect? It's a challenge that everyone encounters at some point in life, often leaving us feeling upset and frustrated. But what if we could transform these moments into opportunities for growth and resilience? Drawing from the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, we can learn to handle disrespect with wisdom and grace. In this video, we will delve into 10 powerful Stoic principles that provide practical guidance for coping with disrespect in a constructive way. Stay with me as we explore these timeless lessons together and discover how to turn adversity into strength. If you find value in our content, please hit the like button, subscribe to Stoic Quotes 365, and ring the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Let's begin this transformative journey. Number 1. Keep your calm. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by how we think about what happens to us. As Epictetus said, people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. Disrespect isn't inherently harmful. It's our interpretation that causes hurt. When someone disrespects you, remember their behavior reflects their own issues, not your worth. For example, if a coworker dismisses your ideas, recognize that their behavior likely stems from their own insecurities. This helps you detach emotionally and stay composed. Shift your perspective to see disrespect as neutral. Take a deep breath and reflect on the fact that their actions are more about them than about you. This prevents impulsive reactions and allows you to respond with grace. Consider another scenario. You're driving and someone cuts you off. Instead of reacting with anger, remember the other driver's actions are outside your control. Choose to stay calm to maintain your inner peace. Keeping calm isn't about suppressing emotions but managing them wisely. By doing so, you demonstrate emotional resilience, core Stoic virtue. This allows you to stay focused on what truly matters. To cultivate calmness, practice mindfulness and meditation. A few moments of mindful breathing when faced with disrespect can help you regain control and respond thoughtfully. Journaling can also help you process thoughts and gain insight. Seek role models who exemplify calmness. Studying their responses to challenges can inspire you. Engage in regular physical activity, like yoga or brisk walking, to maintain physical and emotional balance. In conclusion, keeping your calm in the face of disrespect demonstrates Stoic principle. Recognize your worth isn't determined by others' opinions and choose to respond with grace. This not only preserves your peace but sets an example for others, showing true strength lies in maintaining composure and dignity. Remember, people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. Master your view to master your peace. Stay calm, stay strong, and let your actions reflect your inner tranquility. Number 2. Reflect on yourself. Another important aspect of Stoicism is the practice of self-reflection and self-examination. The Stoics believe that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives, and that we should always strive to improve ourselves and our actions. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thought." When you face disrespect, it is essential to reflect on yourself and ask questions like, is there any truth in what the person said or did? Did I do or say anything that provoked this situation? How can I respond in a way that is consistent with my values and virtues? For example, if a colleague criticizes your work harshly, instead of reacting defensively, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself if there's any validity to their criticism. Did you overlook something important? By analyzing the feedback objectively, you can learn from it and improve your future work. This doesn't mean accepting disrespect, but rather using the situation as a learning opportunity. By reflecting on yourself and the situation objectively, you gain a better understanding of the event and your own role in it. Self-reflection is a Stoic way of ensuring that your responses are based on rational judgment rather than impulsive reactions. It helps you learn from the situation and promotes personal growth and wisdom. Consider another scenario where a friend suddenly becomes distant. Instead of jumping to conclusions or reacting emotionally, reflect on your recent interactions. Have you been attentive to their needs? Did something you said upset them unintentionally? This self-examination can help you address any misunderstandings and strengthen your relationship. Self-reflection encourages you to take responsibility for your actions and thoughts, fostering a mindset of continuous improvement. By examining your responses to disrespect, you can align them with your core values and virtues, such as patience, empathy, and integrity. Engaging in regular self-reflection can be facilitated through journaling. Write down your thoughts and feelings about the incidents of disrespect you encounter. This practice allows you to process your emotions and gain insights into your behavior. Over time, you'll notice patterns and areas for improvement, helping you grow wiser and more resilient. In conclusion, reflecting on yourself when faced with disrespect is a powerful Stoic practice. It allows you to respond thoughtfully and consistently with your values, transforming negative experiences into opportunities for growth. By asking the right questions and seeking to understand your own role in conflict, you build a foundation for a more thoughtful and virtuous life. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Embrace self-reflection as a tool for personal development, and let it guide you towards a more enlightened, fulfilling existence. Number 3. Learn to pause. Seneca once said, "Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit." Stoics emphasize self-control and rationality, arguing that impulsive reactions driven by intense emotions like anger or frustration often lead to poor decisions and unnecessary suffering. When faced with disrespect, the Stoic approach encourages you to avoid reacting impulsively. Instead, take a moment to pause and collect your thoughts. This pause allows you to regain control over your emotions and respond in a more measured and thoughtful manner. For instance, imagine you receive a rude email from a colleague. Your initial reaction might be to respond defensively or angrily. However, by pausing and taking a deep breath, give yourself time to cool down and consider a more constructive response. This can prevent an escalation and help maintain a professional relationship. This brief pause aligns with Stoic principles of wisdom and self-control. By resisting the impulse to react immediately, you can better reflect on the situation and choose a response that aligns with your values. This approach often leads to more constructive and less emotionally charged interactions when faced with disrespect. Consider another scenario. You are in a heated discussion with a friend, and they say something hurtful. Instead of immediately firing back, take a moment to pause. Reflect on why their comment affected you and how you can address the issue calmly. This pause not only helps you maintain composure, but also fosters a more meaningful and respectful dialogue. Pausing is a key Stoic strategy to maintain composure and make rational decisions when confronted with disrespect. It allows you to step back, assess the situation objectively, and choose a response that promotes positive outcomes and personal growth. Engage in practices that help you develop this ability to pause. Mindfulness meditation can train you to become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to control your reactions better. Regular reflection, such as journaling about your experiences, can also enhance your ability to pause and respond thoughtfully. In conclusion, learning to pause when faced with disrespect, the powerful Stoic practice, helps you avoid impulsive reactions and make decisions that align with your values and principles. By pausing, you maintain your composure, promote constructive interactions, foster personal growth. Remember Seneca's wisdom. Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, that you have increased a habit. By mastering the art of pausing, you cultivate a habit of wisdom and self-control that leads to a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Number 4. Have empathy. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." Stoics believe in the interconnectedness of humanity, asserting that understanding the motivations and emotions of others leads to better interactions and personal growth. When faced with disrespect, Stoicism suggests practicing empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their perspective. For instance, if a colleague dismisses your ideas rudely, instead of reacting defensively, consider what might be driving their behavior. Perhaps they are dealing with personal issues or insecurities. By seeing the situation from their angle, you realize that their disrespect may not be personal or intentional, but rather a reflection of their own struggles. Empathy can help you see the situation from a different angle and realize that the person's disrespect may not be personal or intentional. It may be caused by their own insecurities, fears, or ignorance. This understanding fosters compassion and reduces your negative feelings towards them. For example, if a friend snaps at you unexpectedly, take a moment to empathize. They might be going through a tough time and inadvertently take it out on you. By empathizing, you avoid taking their words personally and respond in a more respectful manner. Empathy helps you understand the person's perspective, feelings, and motivations. Instead of getting angry or defensive, you can respond with kindness and respect. This approach prevents conflict escalation and maintains your dignity. Practicing empathy reflects the Stoic principles of wisdom, compassion, and self-improvement. It enables you to learn from challenging situations and grow as a person. For example, if you encounter a rude customer at work, instead of reacting negatively, try to understand their frustration. Your empathetic response can diffuse the situation and turn a potential conflict into a positive interaction. By practicing empathy, you cope with disrespect in a more positive and constructive way. This not only enhances your interactions, but also contributes to your personal growth. Remember, empathy allows you to turn challenging situations into opportunities for learning and development. In conclusion, when someone shows disrespect, remember to practice empathy. Understand their perspective and recognize that their actions may be driven by their own issues. By doing so, you respond with kindness and respect, avoiding conflict and maintaining your dignity. Empathy is a powerful tool that helps you navigate disrespect with wisdom and compassion, ultimately leading to personal growth and better relationships. Number 5. Concentrate on virtue. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is to develop virtues such as wisdom and courage. These qualities help us live well and act rightly. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, wrote that virtue is nothing else than right reason. This means being virtuous is synonymous with being rational and consistent with the natural order of things. Stoics believe virtue is the highest good in life and that everything else is indifferent. When facing disrespect, Stoicism teaches us to focus on virtue in our response. This doesn't mean ignoring or tolerating disrespect, but responding in a way that reflects our Stoic values and principles. For example, if someone insults you, instead of reacting with anger, respond with calmness and reason. This demonstrates your commitment to wisdom and self-control. By focusing on virtue, we can avoid being influenced by our emotions, maintain our dignity and integrity, and grow as individuals. Consider the scenario where a colleague publicly criticizes your work. Instead of lashing out or becoming defensive, take a moment to reflect on your virtues. Responding with a measured and thoughtful reply shows courage and wisdom and helps you stay true to your principle. Stoicism challenges us to be the best version of ourselves, even in difficult situations. For instance, if you're dealing with a rude customer, rather than letting their behavior affect you, focus on displaying patience and kindness. Your virtuous response not only de-escalates the situation but also reinforces your character. In everyday life, concentrating on virtue means consistently choosing actions that align with wisdom, courage, and justice. This can be practiced through small, daily decisions. For example, if you witness unfair treatment, standing up for what is right, even if it's uncomfortable, demonstrates courage and integrity. Furthermore, by practicing virtues, you inspire others around you. Your actions can serve as a model for how to handle adversity with grace and strength. This ripple effect can create a more respectful and virtuous community. In conclusion, when confronted with disrespect, concentrate on virtue. Let your response reflect the wisdom and courage that Stoicism champions. This approach not only preserves your integrity, but also promotes personal growth and sets a positive example for others. By consistently focusing on virtues, you navigate life's challenges with dignity and resilience, becoming a beacon of Stoic principles in action. Number 6. Embrace acceptance. One of the key lessons of Stoicism is to accept the things that are not in our control, such as the disrespect of others. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This means we should be grateful for what we have and not worry about what we lack. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what is in our control and what is not, known as the Stoic dichotomy of control. We can control our thoughts, feelings, and actions, but not external events or the behavior of others. Therefore, when we face disrespect, we should not let it affect our inner peace. Instead, we should accept it as part of life and focus on what we can do to improve ourselves and our situation. For instance, if a colleague speaks to you rudely, rather than letting it ruin your day, recognize that their behavior is outside your control. What you can control is your response. By choosing to remain calm and composed, you maintain your inner peace and dignity. Embracing acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means actively choosing to focus on what you can influence. For example, if you're unfairly criticized at work, you can reflect on any constructive feedback and work on those aspects. This approach transforms a negative experience into an opportunity for growth. Acceptance also involves gratitude. Consider a scenario where a friend betrays your trust. Instead of harboring resentment, focus on the supportive relationships you still have. This shift in perspective helps you move forward with a positive outlook. By accepting disrespect with stoicism, we can avoid unnecessary anger, frustration, and resentment. We can also learn from the experience and grow as a person. This helps us deal with disrespect in a rational and calm way. For example, if you receive harsh criticism from a family member, use it as a chance to practice patience and understanding, recognizing that their words reflect their issues, not your worth. In conclusion, embracing acceptance is a fundamental Stoic practice. It teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. By doing so, we preserve our inner peace and turn challenges into opportunities for personal growth. Remember, as Epictetus said, to rejoice in what you have and not grieve over what you lack. This mindset allows you to navigate life's difficulties with grace and resilience. Number 7. Use humor. Sometimes a little laughter goes a long way. As the ancient philosopher Seneca said, you have mastered yourself when you know how to deal with what you should not take seriously. Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and act rationally, but it also recognizes the value of humor in coping with challenging situations. Humor can help us maintain our emotional balance and avoid getting too angry or annoyed when someone disrespects us. Instead of letting our emotions get the best of us, we can choose to respond with a witty remark or a playful joke. For instance, if a colleague makes a snide comment, instead of reacting defensively, you might say with a smile, "Looks like someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed today." This lighthearted response can diffuse tension and shift the interaction towards a more positive direction. Of course, humor should be used appropriately and not excessively. It's important to gauge the situation and ensure that your humor doesn't come off as mocking or dismissive. When used wisely, it can be a powerful tool to handle disrespect in a way that fosters a more positive and peaceful outcome. For example, imagine you're in a meeting and someone interrupts you rudely. Instead of getting upset, you could respond with a touch of humor. "I see you're very eager to share your thoughts. Let's hear it after I finish mine." This not only addresses the disrespect, but also maintains a respectful and lighthearted atmosphere. Humor, when applied correctly, helps us to not take things too seriously and to keep our perspective. It can turn a potentially negative encounter into a more bearable and even enjoyable one. This aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control, our reactions, while letting go of what we cannot control, the actions of others. In conclusion, using humor is a valuable Stoic technique to manage disrespect. It allows us to maintain our composure, diffuse tension, and create a more positive outcome. By incorporating humor into our responses, we embrace a balanced approach to handling life's challenges, staying true to our values while fostering a sense of lightness and resilience. Number 8. Set clear boundaries. Stoicism is not about being a doormat. It's about being a rock, standing firm in the face of disrespect and injustice. A rock that knows its worth, demands respect from others, controls what it can, and lets go of what it can't. When someone disrespects you, you don't have to take it lying down, nor do you have to lash out in anger. You can be calm and assertive, telling them what they did wrong and how you expect to be treated. For example, if a colleague consistently interrupts you during meetings, calmly assert your boundary by saying, "I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'd like to finish my point before we continue." This sets a clear expectation without escalating the situation. Setting clear and reasonable boundaries protects your dignity and self-respect. This is what Stoicism teaches us. Be strong, just, and courageous. Teaches us to respect ourselves and others, maintaining our inner control and outer dignity in any situation. Consider another scenario where a friend makes a habit of making sarcastic remarks at your expense. Address it directly by saying, "I value our friendship. Those comments are hurtful. I'd prefer we keep our interactions positive." This way, you communicate your boundaries clearly while maintaining respect. Stoicism empowers us to recognize when our boundaries are crossed and to address it with poise. It's not about being passive, it's about being actively engaged in protecting our well-being. For instance, if a superior at work is taking credit for your ideas, it's essential to calmly but firmly discuss your contributions and assert your need for acknowledgement. In personal relationships, setting boundaries might mean expressing your need for space, time. If a loved one is overly critical, you can say, "I understand your concern, but I need support and constructive feedback, not criticism." This reinforces your boundary while fostering a healthier interaction. Boundaries are crucial for maintaining mental and emotional health. They are a way to ensure that you are treated with the respect you deserve, allowing you to interact with others from a place of strength and confidence. By setting clear boundaries, you assert your self-worth and teach others how to treat you. In conclusion, setting clear boundaries is a fundamental Stoic practice. It's about standing firm, being assertive without aggression, and protecting your dignity. By doing so, you embody the Stoic virtues of strength, justice, and courage. This approach not only preserves your self-respect, but also fosters healthier, more respectful relationships with others. Remember, being a rock means knowing your worth and ensuring others recognize it too. Set your boundaries with clarity and confidence, and navigate life with the dignity and strength that Stoicism encourages. Number 9, choose forgiveness. Imagine someone disrespects you. How do you react? Do you lash out in anger, or do you let it go? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers profound wisdom on this matter. Stoics believe that forgiveness is not a favor to the other person, but a gift to yourself. Forgiveness is the key to inner peace and happiness. However, forgiveness is not easy. It does not mean forgetting or approving what happened. It means choosing to release the negative emotions that hurt you more than anyone else. Stoics say that we should forgive all but not indiscriminately. We should forgive wisely, with compassion and justice. For instance, a colleague spreads false rumors about you. Instead of harboring resentment, consider why they might have done it. Perhaps they were acting out of insecurity or fear. This perspective allows you to forgive them while still recognizing the wrongness of their actions. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. We can't control how others behave, but we can control how we respond. We can choose to forgive and free ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. For example, if a friend betrays your trust, you can choose to forgive them, understanding that holding on to anger only harms your peace of mind. Forgiveness, according to Stoicism, is not a weakness, but a strength. It's not a surrender, but a victory. It's not a sacrifice, but a reward. Forgiveness is the ultimate act of self-care and personal growth. By forgiving, you choose to move on with a sense of inner peace and tranquility. Consider a family member who repeatedly criticizes you. Instead of letting their words fester and breed resentment, choose to forgive them. Understand that their criticisms often stem from their issues, not yours. By forgiving, you maintain your inner peace and show true strength. In personal relationships, forgiveness can be transformative. A partner makes a hurtful comment. Rather than reacting with anger, take a moment to understand their perspective and forgive. This strengthens the relationship and promotes mutual growth. In conclusion, choosing forgiveness is a fundamental Stoic practice. It allows you to release negative emotions, maintain inner peace, and grow personally. Remember, forgiveness is a strength, a victory, and a reward. It is the ultimate act of self-care and personal growth, freeing you from the burden of anger and resentment and allowing you to live a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Number 10. Change your perspective. Perspective is the ability to see things from a broader and more objective point of view. It helps you avoid overreacting or taking things personally when someone disrespects you. Instead, it allows you to realize that disrespect is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. As the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." By changing your perspective, you can see that most cases of disrespect are minor and temporary. They do not affect your true worth or happiness. For example, if a colleague makes a dismissive comment, instead of letting it ruin your day, remember that this moment is fleeting and does not define your value. Most disrespect is a reflection of the other person's ignorance, insecurity, or weakness, not yours. You can choose to ignore it, forgive it, or learn from it, rather than letting it bother you. Perspective also helps you focus on what really matters in life: your goals, values, and virtues. Instead of wasting energy on resentment or revenge, use it to pursue what is meaningful to you. For instance, if a friend lets you down, instead of harboring anger, focus on your personal growth and the positive relationships you have. This shift in focus allows you to live a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Consider the scenario where a stranger is rude to you. Instead of reacting negatively, remind yourself that their behavior likely stems from their own issues, not yours. This helps you maintain your composure and respond with kindness, or simply walk away, preserving your peace. Changing your perspective is about managing your emotions well, not suppressing them. When you face disrespect, use perspective to keep your cool and act wisely. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to manage our emotions effectively, ensuring they serve us rather than control us. In conclusion, changing your perspective is a powerful Stoic practice. It helps you see disrespect as insignificant in the bigger picture, focus on what truly matters, and use your time and energy wisely. By doing so, you maintain your inner peace and live a more meaningful life. Always remember, our life is what our thoughts make it. Use perspective to navigate challenges and keep your focus on your goals and values. By applying these 10 principles, you can stay calm and strong when you face disrespect and rude behavior. Leave a thumbs up to help us reach more people in search of ancient wisdom. If you are new here, subscribe to Stoic Quotes 365 and hit the notification bell for more lessons on Stoic philosophy. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in our next video. To watch more Stoic wisdom videos, select one of the videos that will appear on your screen now. Stay Stoic and continue your journey towards inner peace and resilience with Stoic Quotes 365.